Hello everyone, welcome to ACE Online and welcome to Daily Current Affairs session. So we'll see the current affairs of yesterday as well as today, as we don't have session yesterday. So we will cover those things here. Yeah, so these are the articles that we are going to cover today. We have a good number of articles because we are covering of 2 days current affairs. First one, Udayagiri Khandagiri caves, which is part of our art and culture. Art and culture as well as history as well, right? Next one, National Tuberculosis Elimination Program. So this is part of science and technology as well as policies of government as well, right? Because tuberculosis is part of diseases which is part of our science and technology. Next one, Pradhan Mantri Jan Vikas Karyakram. So this is part of schemes and policies. Schemes and policies of the government. Next one, Red Sea mapping. This is part of geography. This is part of geography. Then parliamentary privileges. So this is part of polity. This is part of polity. Then Vizhinjam seaport from Kerala. So this is again part of geography. We have a good number of diversified articles from various subjects. Next, Gains 2024. So this is part of shipping. It is a scheme related to shipping. So it can be taken as schemes and policies. Or you can take it as an economy as well, because sea related, it is encouraging of the economy, right? Trade. Then comes National Gopal Ratna Awards. National Gopal Ratna Awards. So this is again part of government schemes, policies. World Heritage Transhumance Initiative. So this is part of international relations. Then comes the Kartarpur Corridor. This is again part of art and culture. Art and culture. Then some factual pointers and some practice questions as well. So it is just got cut here. Anyway, so these are all the articles that we are going to cover today. I hope my voice as well as video is clear from my side. Okay. Yeah, very good evening, Sukanya and Srinath. So let's start the session with the first article, that is about Udayagiri Khandagiri caves. Okay. The context why we have taken this article is recently our president, Honorable President Draupadi Murmuji, has visited this Udayagiri Khandagiri caves. That's why there was a lot of media, that is Hindu, Indian Express has published these pictures and all. So that's why we have taken this article for our exam point of view, right? Now let's see what are this Udayagiri and Khandagiri caves. Earlier, like we don't have technology to build, right, to construct a new thing. So earlier, what they used to do, already there was lot of caves or hills, we can say, right? Already there was a hills, and then from that hills itself, they got cut, right? So they got cut whatever the requirements. So those are called as the rock cut caves. That means already a big boulder, big rock was there. So through cutting those things, the caves or whatever the structure that has been established, they are called as the rock cut caves, right? And this rock cut caves, which are located in Udayagiri and Khandagiri. So these are the two small places that are nearby each other, located in Odisha. A very important fact, these caves are located near Bhubaneswar, that is Odisha, right? And these are partly natural and partly artificial. That means with the natural thing itself, the cave formation has happened some hundreds of years before, and some things were modified through rock cut, right? By cutting the existing rock, right? They were built on Kumari mountain ranges. So we have a number of mountain ranges. So they may also ask in the exam where this Udayagiri Khandagiri caves are located and which hills and all. So these are located on the Kumari mountain ranges or Kumari hills, right? And these are the earliest rock cut caves in Odisha. Of course, there are number of other rock cut caves in the different regions of India, like Barabar, we have Ajanta caves, we have Ellora caves, we have. So this within Odisha, these are the oldest rock cut caves, right? And these were built by King Karavela, a very important fact and a popular one asked in the exam. These caves were built under the supervisions of then King Karavela, right? He belongs to the Meghavana dynasty. They are not actually done by any of other kings. They were initiated by the Karavela itself, belonging to the Meghavana dynasty of Jain monks. So this caves was originally built for the Jain religion, right? It is not for Hinduism, it is not for Buddhism, but it was started for Jain monks. King Karavela was a follower of Jainism, right? So for that purpose, they have built these caves, right? Few more facts are there. Within this Udayagiri Khandagiri caves, there is one inscription. You can see image here. Inscription means any write-up on the stones or rocks, whatever may be, right? So here we have one popular inscription, Hathi Gumfa inscription. This inscription was written during King Karavela, and this inscription describes the military achievements of the King Karavela. A very important fact again. Okay. So we have two hills within this, that is Udayagiri, which is called as Sunrise Hill, and Khandagiri, it is called as a Broken Hill in terms of English, right? So these were carved out for the residential purposes of the Jain monks, built by the King Karavela. So these were initiated for actually the Jain monks, but later even some caves were given for Hinduism as well, because later kings like Shungas and all, they have occupied, or they have followed the Hindu Vaishnavism as well, even Guptas, right? So this total caves are related mostly, almost all the caves are belonging to the either Jainism or Hinduism. There is no Buddhism in these regions, right? So some important caves, Hathi Gumfa cave, Ananta Gumfa and Ganesh Gumfa. So they may also ask you in the exam that where is Hathi Gumfa cave, Ananta Gumfa cave, Ganesh Gumfa cave. So these are all three located in the Udayagiri and Khandagiri caves, right? So this is the important features about the Udayagiri and Khandagiri caves. A lot of facts there are. You need to know about for which purposes, right? It is for residential purpose of the Jain monks. And who built this? Karavela, who is the follower of Jainism. Where they are located? Bhubaneswar, near Bhubaneswar in Odisha. And these are rock-cut caves located on the mountain ranges of Kumari, right? So these are all facts are important for our exam. I hope that is clear. A very good evening, Jashwant and Malini. I hope the first article is clear. So this is the first article. Now moving to the second article, that is National Tuberculosis Elimination Program. National Tuberculosis Elimination Program. This was taken from yesterday's news, that is Press Information Bureau. The context is Professor Soumya Swaminathan, who acted even, worked with the WHO, World Health Organization as well. She was appointed as the principal advisor for the Ministry of Health to take care of National Tuberculosis Elimination Program. She was the one who is going to advise the government to handle the National Tuberculosis Elimination Program. Now, we will see, they may also ask you directly, who was recently appointed as a advisor for National Tuberculosis Program. It is Soumya Swaminathan. Not only that, you need to know about tuberculosis, you need to know about National Tuberculosis Elimination Program and all, right? Now, let's see about tuberculosis first, then go for the National Tuberculosis Elimination Program. Tuberculosis is an airborne disease. That means whenever there is a cough or sneeze by the affected person, that can be transmitted through air, right? This was caused by bacteria, Mycobacterium tuberculosis. So it is not caused by virus or other protozoa and all, it is caused by the bacteria, very important organ, also a very important fact to be remembered. And this affects mainly the lungs. These bacteria mainly affects the lungs, okay? So inflammation of lungs and the inefficient working of lungs can take place, and lack of breathing may lead to the death as well sometimes, right? So this is the tuberculosis, but yes, this bacteria can also affect other organs. It does not mean that they can only affect the lungs, they can affect any part of the body, but lungs are the main ones which are affected by this bacteria, right? Now, it is a treatable and a curable disease. That means it have vaccine also, it have medication also, but still the highest number of cases for any disease in the world are caused by the tuberculosis itself. We have the vaccine, we have the medication, but still, the number of cases reported by tuberculosis is the highest for any other disease, right? So that is also one important fact to be understood, right? It has a drugs also. Now what vaccine it is being used? The vaccine used for this is BCG vaccine. BCG vaccine developed by Calmette and Kamalin Guerin. So these are the two persons who has used this mycobacterium to generate the vaccine, right? So this was first used in 1921, right? BCG vaccine is for tuberculosis, cure of tuberculosis, right? This in India was introduced limited scale in 1948. So for the first time in India it was introduced in 1948, but later it became part of the National TB Control Program since 1962. So we have deployed this vaccine, fine. And in addition to this vaccine, it also protects against the respiratory and bacterial infection. So not only just for this vaccine, not only just to tackle the tuberculosis, but also for other diseases such as leprosy. So the same vaccine can also be used for the leprosy, which is again caused by the same mycobacterium, right? This is also one important fact. Now coming to the National Tuberculosis Elimination Program. For this program to oversee this, Dr. Soumya Swaminathan was appointed as an advisor for the government, right? Under this program, government aimed to eliminate the tuberculosis by 2025. So we are already in 2024 and India is one of the highest countries, the top country to report the cases. So are we going to achieve this? It is a very difficult, right? WHO, World Health Organization, kept the target to eliminate tuberculosis by 2030. But we have adopted by 2025 itself. We promise that we are going to eliminate. But India is one of the top countries in recording of these cases, right? So that is the objective of the program, to eliminate the tuberculosis by 2025. And through the process, it has a 4-tiered approach. At the national level, there will be policies, guidelines given to the state governments. At the state level, they will see the implementation. So central government is just giving the guidelines, state governments will implement it. And then at the district level, the technical guidance is distributed or deciphered for the people involved at the lower level. And finally, sub-district level, it is directly given the medication, distribution of medication, all these things happens. All right. So the system, the approach that key strategies we are following is directly observed treatment short course. Many times this term is given in the exam and they ask for which disease. Directly observed treatment short course. This is for tuberculosis. Under this, what will the government staff, whatever the nurses, Anganwadis, they directly go every day and observe the medication, because what has happened due to the irregular medication, you might be also followed this, like whatever the doctor has prescribed continuously for 2 times a day, we usually won't follow. One day we will have and then next day we won't be able to have, again we will have it. So because of this, the medication efficiency will reduce. Right? It also leads to the antimicrobial resistance. The bacteria can resist, because if you continuously use it, then bacteria will kill. But if you do it in a absent manner, they will accustom to this particular medication, and this medication efficiency will reduce. So for that purpose, government has introduced directly observed treatment short course, where the nurses, who are people involved, they will directly go and assist in the medication. Then comes the diagnosis and case detection. So here there will be gene expert, X-ray, some technologies are there. So it is screening like thing. Every house the government will reach out and they will screen, because some cases of TB are not recorded, right? They are usually not known. But in later time, the person might have spread to different people. So that's why early detection is important, and for that purpose itself, government has launched this one. Patient-centric care, so free diagnosis, treatment, everything is provided under this program, right? No cost is involved. Then comes the drug-resistant management. So whatever the medications that are given, those medications are frequently monitored, right? So through this process, government is aiming to eliminate the tuberculosis. This is about the tuberculosis, the context, the Soumya Swaminathan was appointed, and then National TB Control Program, which we kept as a target by 2025, right? So that is about the National Tuberculosis Program. Next one, Pradhan Mantri Jan Vikas Karyakram. So if you have any doubts, please do let me know in the comment section. Okay, Pradhan Mantri Jan Vikas Karyakram. This is a initiative, okay, by Indian government. Now, what is the context? Why we have taken this? This is again taken from Press Information Bureau, the government website. Recently, Union Minister Kiran Rijiju has reviewed the extension of the program. So how this program is being implemented, that was overseen by our Ministry of Minority Affairs. So this Kiran Rijiju is a Minister for Minority Affairs, right? Now, what is the scheme about? The scheme is to assess the minorities, whatever the challenges that they have faced, or whatever the differences in terms of development, to encourage the participation or to enhance the socio-economic condition of minorities. Because in any of the country, there will be majority people who are following certain religion, and there are other groups in a minor manner who follows or who are not actually dominant there in that country. That's why the facilities that are available to them are usually less, because they are cornered with the various communalism, all those things. So to protect, to encourage them to develop, the government has come up with the Pradhan Jan Vikas Karyakram. This is implemented by the Ministry of Minority Affairs to enhance the socio-economic condition of the minorities. Currently, we are having 6 minority groups recognized by Indian government: Buddhist, Jains, Parsis, Muslims, Christians and Zoroastrians. So these are the 6 minority communities that are present in India, right? So to encourage them to develop themselves, the government has come up with this initiative. Under this, they will encourage education, they will create infrastructure which is required, all those things are taken care. And this is a centrally sponsored scheme. That means 60% of funds are given by central government, rest of the 40% state governments has to spend, right? So this is a centrally sponsored scheme. This will take care of education, everything. At least 80% of the resources allocated under this should be related to the education, health, skill development. So the 80% of funds that government is releasing will go to education, health and skill development of the minorities. Okay, that is the objective. And also 33 to 40% of the total funds should be spent on women as well. So women and girls as well. So this is also, there is a gender aspect in the scheme, right? So these are all the objectives. In the end, the development of the minorities in all the indices is the main core theme of this Pradhan Mantri Jan Karyakram Yojana scheme, right? Objective. Any doubts in this? Okay. Let's move to the next one, Red Sea mapping, a very important part of geography, international relations. The context is Houthi rebels who are the Sunni dominated ones who are residing in the Middle East. They have targeted some ships in the Gulf of Aden and near Oman region. So the regions which are important, the mapping which is important for our exam has to be known, right? So as part of that, today we will see the Red Sea mapping. So this is the Red Sea. You can see here, this is a blue color one. This is the Red Sea, right? Now let's come from the north. There is a small gulf. So what is Gulf? Gulf is a water body, narrow water body, which connects the two larger water bodies, right? So Gulf is nothing but a small water channel which can connect the two larger water bodies. So here we have Gulf of Suez. Gulf of Suez, right? So this projection is called as Gulf of Suez, which connects with the Mediterranean Sea and Red Sea, a very important one, frequently asked in the exam. Then comes Gulf of Aqaba. There is also one more Gulf projection, Gulf region, that is Gulf of Aqaba, right? Now, what are all the countries that are surrounding the Red Sea? That is also important. So you can see here Jordan, right? So I am writing here Jordan, then Israel. Israel is also bordering here. Then Egypt, a very important data for this mapping, right? Egypt in the north side. Now comes a little bit south side. You can see here Sudan. This is the Sudan region which is bordering. Then Eritrea. Eritrea is also bordering the Red Sea. Then Ethiopia we don't have. Ethiopia is a closed one. Then we have Djibouti. So Djibouti is also separate country. So that is also border to the Red Sea, right? That's all. Now this side we have Yemen, Saudi Arabia, Jordan we have already seen, right? So total Jordan, Israel, Egypt 3, Sudan, then Eritrea, Djibouti, right, Yemen and Saudi Arabia. So these are all the countries which are surrounding the Red Sea. And what else water bodies are surrounding it? You can see here Bab al-Mandab Strait. Strait is a narrow water body, right? Strait is a narrow water body which divides two land masses. So this Arabian Peninsula and Africa is divided by the small strait, right? So here Bab al-Mandab Strait is there, which is connecting the Gulf of Aden with the Red Sea, right? So Red Sea is connected with the Gulf of Aden by Bab al-Mandab Strait. All these facts are important for our exam. You need to remember what are all the water bodies surrounding in the Red Sea and what is the country surrounding the Red Sea region, right? So these are all the countries surrounding Red Sea, okay? Saudi Arabia, we have seen this. Fine. Any doubts in this? Any doubts? Important article for international point of view or geography point of view as well. Next one, parliamentary privileges. Parliamentary privileges. We will see detail about this, but let's understand the context why this article has come. Recently, the Congress Rajya Sabha Chief Whip Jairam Ramesh has filed a breach of privilege notice against Prime Minister, saying that Prime Minister has negatively commented the former Vice President Hamid Ansari. So that's why breach of privilege motion was submitted to the Speaker by the Jairam Ramesh. That's why we are discussing this article. Now, what actually are the privileges of the Parliament or members? As MPs or MLAs are elected by the people, they need to participate in the Parliament sessions. They should have certain rights where their work will not be disturbed, right? For that purpose, the Constitution itself, under Article 105 for the Parliament MPs and 194 under 194 article for MLAs, they have given certain rights. Those are called as the privileges, right? So those privileges we will see in detail, but understand the concept. These are the rights or privileges given to the MLAs and MPs to conduct or to participate in their regular work, right? So those are the privileges. Now, what is breach of privilege? This is what the Jairam Ramesh has complained against our Prime Minister, that the comments lead to the breach of privileges of the given for the members, right? So breach of privileges means not respecting or disregarding the rights and privileges given to the members. Say for example, I am an MP. I was given with certain rights and my rights were affected by someone else. It can be a member within the house or it can be a member outside of the house also. Some journalists may also write some defamation, something wrong news. So that is also against the privilege. Breach of privilege. So it can be done by the MPs within the house or maybe outsiders also. So anything performed against my rights or privileges according to the Constitution, those are considered as a breach of privilege. Now, what is contempt of house? One more concept is there, contempt of house. House here means Parliament. It can be Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. Contempt of house means those are beyond the privileges. These things are obstructing the working nature of the house itself. It is not just about the individual MP, but also it is affecting the Parliament as a whole as well, right? Those are called as the contempt of house, right? Now, as we have already discussed about the privileges, right? What are privilege? Parliament privileges. I have explained you that those are given for the proper working of the Parliament for all the MPs. 194, this also need to be remembered. Through 194 article, these privileges were given for legislative assemblies of different states. And at the central level, the Constitution Article 105 gives the privileges for the MPs. 194 for MLAs, right? Now, who are all can get these privileges? This is also very important for us. I hope you are following. In case of any doubts, you can ask here. Very good evening, Kumari Shanti. So, I am discussing privileges. Who are all can entitle this or who can benefit these privileges? Who can get these privileges? Any of the members, two houses of the Parliament, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, these houses also gets the privileges. All the members of the Parliament, either they are elected or nominated, or Lok Sabha members or Rajya Sabha members, all the people will get these privileges. All the committees of the Parliament, whoever the members of the committees, Like we have a number of parliamentary committees to check the budget, to check the bills passed, bills being passed by the government. There are committee members. These members can be beyond our parliament members also. Sometimes members who are not part of parliaments are also appointed as these committees. So those members who are even not part of parliament the MPs also can become part of getting the benefits. Then all the union ministers, and finally Attorney General of India. Attorney General of India is the one who takes care of the court cases from the behalf of the government. Though he is not an MP, he is part of the parliament. Usually he talks, even though he is not a full-time part of the parliament, he can come and participate in the parliament discussions on behalf of the government. That's why this parliament privileges also extends to the Attorney General. So these are the people who will get the parliament privileges under Article 105, and same with the 194 at the state level, right? This is also one important fact. Now comes, what is the differentiation between the privileges? We have two types of privileges. One is individual privileges, that means each MP will be getting the privileges, and collective privileges. All the MPs together also get the privileges. So two types of privileges are there, individually for each MP and collectively for all MPs together. Now let's see what are the individual privileges. The person, the MP who is a part of the parliament, cannot be arrested during the session of the parliament, and 40 days before the beginning of the parliament, and 40 days after the session of the parliament. So if the parliament session date is, say for example, July 1, 40 days prior and 40 days after cannot be arrested, right? But this arrest cannot be done only in case of the civil cases, like land disputes, marriage disputes, all those things comes under the civil dispute, not under the criminal cases. Criminal cases means doing murder or something else, extra crimes. Those things, no, he can be arrested. So there is no condition of 40 days before and 40 days after and during the session. Only in case of civil cases, they are exempted from the arrest. That is one thing. Freedom of speech and speech in the parliament. In parliament, whatever they want, they can speak. But if there is any violation, speaker will take care, right? But no others can take care, not even Supreme Court, not even any police officers can take action on them. Only speaker has the power to take action on them. So this is also a privilege given to them. No member is liable to be attending in any proceedings. So court cannot call them that you have to attend the proceedings because we have a case. No, nobody can demand him when he or she is in the parliament session. That is also one privilege, right? And they are exempted from jury services. That means even though you are an MP, you can participate in the judicial things. That is lawyer. You can practice as a lawyer, right? Even though if you are MP, you might have seen Kapil Sibal is always like into number of cases from different state governments and all. Though he is a Rajya Sabha member, he is actually take care of the jury service as well. So it is exempted. There is no restriction on that particular thing. They can refuse to give any evidences and all before the court. So that is also one privilege to the individual. So these are all the individual privileges. Now comes the collective privileges as together of the house, right? First one, it has right to publish its reports, debates and proceedings. Whatever the debates that and all happens in the parliament, this house as a together, they have the right to publish. Nobody can stop them in terms of publishing, right? And in case of secret sitting, when the important matter like India-Chinese war is happening, there is some confidential bill has to be passed. So in that secret sittings, no outsiders are allowed. This is also a privilege to it. Nobody can say that you have to allow the persons to inside of the parliament. No, nobody can say that when there is a secret sitting is going on. That is also collective privilege. It can also punish any of the members if the privileges are breached. Individually or collectively, the house can also take action against them, right? And it has to receive immediate, if any person is being arrested, any MP has been arrested by the police, immediately the house has the right to know when it was arrested, for what purpose and all. The house can question or ask the police to tell the reasons. That is also collective privilege. The courts are completely prohibited to inquire into the proceedings of the house. So what are the discussions going on inside the parliament? Even Supreme Court cannot ask them what went inside, right? Nobody can ask them. That is also a collective privilege. No person, either insider or outsiders, can enter into the what you call enter into the parliament without the permission of the presiding officer. This is also an important thing. So it can be, the arrest can only be done, or they can only be entered, the police, all those things, only with the permission of the presiding officer. This is also one important fact. So these are all the collective privileges. In the exam, they may ask you which of the following are individual privileges or collective privileges and all, right? So you have to remember what are individual privileges and what are collective privileges. Articles are also important. I hope that is clear, right? Any doubts in this? We have discussed about what the context is, and there are two concepts, that is breach of privilege, contempt of the house, right? And within that we have discussed parliament privilege, what are they, from which article they derive, and types of, who can benefit from the parliament privileges, and what type, individual, collective, what are the individual privileges and what are the collective privileges, we have in detail discussed. Any doubts in this? Let's move to the next article, that is Vizhinjam Seaport. A very short article, factual article. Now, Vizhinjam Seaport is hopeful for setting the new benchmark in turnaround time. You need to know about the turnaround time as well. So if this is the port, for example, if this is a port, from the point of it reaching towards this particular port, till it comes out of this port and reaches back to its destination. The destination may not be the same where the origin is. Say for example, it is coming from New York, it has to go to some Maldives, right? This is the final destination. So starting from the point of where it starts till it reaches to the final destination, that is called as the turnaround time. But mostly the turnaround time is more than 2-3 days also. Like, because of the lack of berths and all in the ports, usually these will wait. If you have visited any of the beaches near the ports, you might have seen number of ships are standing in the interior of the ocean, because they want a final approval to enter into the port, because there is always rush in the ports, right? So that time we need to reduce as much as possible. The turnaround time has to reduce so that they will come early and then they can go early, save time, right? So now Vizhinjam port is aiming to reduce the turnaround time of Indian shipping, right? Now let's know about the Vizhinjam port. It is India's first transshipment deep water port. What is transshipment? Transshipment means it is not the final destination. For example, you want to send goods from place A to place B, right? It can be land, it can be road, whatever may be. So you can directly send, right? So that is the final destination. But because of the demand, or you need to distribute goods in different regions also, not only B but C, D and all. So you will send to one particular port, where this port will redistribute. From here you can redistribute to different regions. So this port is called as a transshipment, which acts as a center point and then redistribute the goods. It can be through land route, it can be through railway route, it can be through water routes as well. So those are called as the transshipments. And this is the deep water and the first transshipment, the port of India, right? It was built by Adani Ports and Special Economic Zone Private Limited of Kerala, right? So you need to know about this also. Who built this Vizhinjam Seaport? This is the first port in India to be built by the private agency. That is also an important fact, right? So Adani Ports were the ones which has built this. It is the India's first international deep water transshipment port. We have discussed already this particular point, right? These are all the factual pointers. You can see the location also. You can see the Vizhinjam port location also. It is near to the international sea lines. There are some certain international seaway routes, like how we have national highways and all. We are having the international sea lines as well, right? And this is the nearest one, just 10 nautical miles. 1 nautical mile, 1.8 kilometers. So this is the Vizhinjam port location. So strategically, this is going to be very important for us, right? It has also very good draft. Draft means 18 to 20 meters of depth we are having. So that means large cargoes can rest in these berths as well. So that is also one important fact. So international shipping route is also near to it, right? So that is about the Vizhinjam seaport, a very important fact to be remembered. Next one, Gains 2024 initiative. It is a government scheme, okay? Now, what is full form of this? Garden Reach Shipbuilders Enterprise. So it is a already existing company, Garden Reach Shipbuilders and Engineers Limited. It is a private company, right? This one and Kochi Shipyard Limited, together these two builds a lot of ships for India, right? Garden Reach Shipbuilders and Engineers Limited in Bengal, Kolkata, and then Kochi Shipyard in Kerala. These two are the ones which highly builds our lot of ships, right? Now, Raja Raksha Mantri Shri Sanjay Seth has launched this Garden Reach Shipping and Engineering Limited Accelerated Innovation Nurturing Program. Now, what is the purpose of this? Lot of activities in the shipyard related activities, lot repairs are going on, and India is not having completely the shipping repairs and all. So we are taking assistance from USA and many other countries. Now, government want to encourage the MSMEs, micro medium scale industry, small scale startups, MSMEs, to be involved in this, knowing about the shipyard related problems, so that we won't depend on the other countries. Whatever the repairs that are required for ships and all will be taken care within India itself, so that we can save a lot of money. We can create a lot of employment, right? Lot of economy as well. For that purpose, government has launched the scheme Garden Reach Shipping and Engineering Limited Accelerated Innovation Nurturing Scheme, right? It aims to encourage the MSMEs to participate in the shipyard related problems, right? So that is the objective of this scheme. This was launched on July 10th, a very short scheme. So this is part of Make in India and Startup India initiative. Make in India means promote the manufacturing, Startup India means encourage the enterprises. So this, under this scheme itself, government has launched this. So you have to remember what is the objective and who are all the stakeholders involved. I hope that is clear. Next article, National Gopal Ratna Award, a very important one to be remembered, right? National Gopal Ratna Award 2024. Now the awards were not yet announced. They are going to announce on 26th November 2024 on the occasion of National Milk Day. National Milk Day every year celebrated on 26th November, right? On that occasion they are going to announce the awards. But anyway, now nominations were being taken, right? Nominations are being taken for National Gopal Ratna Award 2024. Now, what is this award about? National Gopal Ratna Award. These awards are announced under Rashtriya Gokul Mission. We will see what is Rashtriya Gokul Mission also, don't need to worry. Just understand that these are being announced under Rashtriya Gokul Mission. And these awards for the first time was launched in 2021. A very important fact. They may also directly ask you in which year Gopal Ratna Awards were announced. So this was announced since 2021. Every year we are giving this awards as part of the Rashtriya Gokul Mission. We will see that scheme as well. And what is the objective of this giving awards? The objective is to encourage the entities to produce more milk, like Amul, we have a Nandini, fine, Heritage. So whatever, like it is, the awards are to encourage the increase in production of milk, right? And then promoting the cooperative societies in milk, right? And then artificial insemination as well. Artificial insemination means artificially introducing the genes or whatever the reproductive things into the cows to enhance the production of milk, right? So artificially encouraging or introducing the any of the genes into the cow and all to produce more milk, right? So that is called as the artificial insemination. Now these awards are announced every year to encourage the milk production, to encourage the cooperative societies, to encourage the people to introduce some scientific things into the artificial insemination. Who organized this? This is organized by Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairy under Ministry of Fisheries and Animal Husbandry, right? This is the ministry which are announcing, and these are announced under Rashtriya Gokul Mission. Now this year 2024 they are going to have 4 categories. Best dairy farmer, whoever is involved in producing more milk, right? Whoever is introduced certain facts or certain elements to enhance the milk production, and then best dairy cooperative society or milk producing company or dairy farmer organization. So it is also encouraging the cooperative societies, and also best artificial insemination technician, whoever individually has certain skills who can easily do the artificial insemination is also being considered for this year, right? And then finally this year specifically they are introducing special award for northeastern region. You all know that northeastern region of India is not very developed, unlike the mainland. Northeast India is not very highly developed. So to encourage Northeast India to participate in the milk production and all, they have come up with the special award for Northeast India specifically this year. Okay. Now coming to the next, Rashtriya Gokul Mission. Gokul means cow, you all know. So Rashtriya Gokul Mission was launched to promote and conserve the indigenous breeds. That means those breeds which are from India rather than depending on the external markets like Gir, right, Sahiwal, Tarapur, Red Sindh. There are a number of indigenous breeds. To encourage them, the government has come up with this particular scheme. The aim is to enhance the productivity of these breeds, the milk. So India can become the world's largest producer, or maintain, we are already the largest producer of milk, right? So to encourage the more production of milk, government has come up with the scheme, right? This is being implemented under National Program for Bovine Breeding and Dairy Development. So there is already a broader scheme. Under that they have launched the Rashtriya Gokul Mission. Under Rashtriya Gokul Mission, now they have launched the awards as well, National Gopal Awards since 2021. This scheme is being implemented by Department of Animal Husbandry. This scheme is going to stay till 2025-26. The total budget allocated for this scheme is 2,400 crores. A very important fact as well, right? So we have seen this Rashtriya Gokul Mission was launched under National Program for Bovine Production or Bovine Breeding and Dairy Development. So this is a broader scheme under which already there are 3 sub schemes. Under this Rashtriya Gokul Mission, we have a Gopal Ratna Awards, right? So these are all the facts. Any doubts in this? So we have a very good factual things that you need to remember. What is the purpose of we have come from Gopal Ratna Awards. Like this year, the context, the nominations was allowed. So you have what are those awards, for what purposes, in which categories they are giving, all this we have learned, right? And then we have seen about the Rashtriya Gokul Mission as well, to encourage the indigenous breeds and enhance the production of milk, right? So that is the objective. The funding also we have seen. Next article about World Heritage Transhumance Initiative. A new initiative was launched by ICOMOS. So you can see the full form as well. International Council on Monuments and Sites. International Council on Monuments and Sites has launched the new initiative, World Heritage Transhumance Initiative. This was launched by ICOMOS. So very important one to be remembered. Who launched this will be asked in the exam. Now, what is this transhumance? You might be aware, sir, what is this? You might be questioning yourself that what is this transhumance? Transhumance means this is the hill, right? This is the mountain region, and this is the foothills. This is the higher reaches. In winter seasons, as we go up in the hills, the temperature gets decreased, right? So as we go up towards the hills, if you trek the hills, the temperatures are reduced here. So during summer, there will be very hot at the foothills, right? That's why there will be less greenery, and then the animals also cannot live here properly. So during summers, the local tribes will reach out to the higher mountains. And when winter comes, now there is an extreme cold here at the upper layers. So they will come down. So transhumance means migration of the people along with the animals, whatever, like you can see here, sheep, buffaloes, whatever. So the migration from lower altitudes to higher levels based on the season for the the food for the animals. That phenomena is called as a transhumance. So it is nothing but the seasonal livestock movement from higher reaches to lower reaches based on the season. That is called as the transhumance, right? This is a common practice in many of the mountain regions, right? In India also, we have a popular ones, transhumane from India. We have Gujars, Bakarwalas, Gaddis in the Ladakh region, where they migrated from one place to other place for their livestock food, right? Now, about the World Heritage Transhumane Initiative, we have already seen this was launched by Indian Council of Monuments and Sites, ICOMOS, along with the support of Azerbaijan, which is a Central Asian country. So this is launched by ICOMOS with the support of Azerbaijan. And what is the objective? The objective is to recognize the importance of transhumane and also to promote them in the future to participate more in the transhumane. Nowadays it is getting reduced, but actually this is a ecologically sensitive one. Even though if it is summer, and then if these people stay at the lower levels, there will be a climate change impact. There will be a very harsh condition on those lands. So if they migrate to the upper layers, so at least the impact on the lower foothills will be reduced. So to encourage them, to recognize them, the international ICOMOS has come up with this initiative, right? So that is the objective. Now let's also know about International Council on Monuments and Sites, ICOMOS. We also need to know about it, right? About this organization. This organization is a non-governmental organization. That means it is not related to any United Nations or any governmental one. It is not launched by any government. It is a non-government. That means private entities has launched it, right? And the aim is to protect and conserve the culture and heritage monuments and sites. It is not just about the physical temples and all. Whatever the ecological sensitive regions are also taken care by this. It was founded in 1965 through adoption of Venice Charter, right? So Venice Charter, sometimes mentioned in newsletter, what also they may ask you in the exam. This was adopted in Venice Charter 1964. Through that, this organization was implemented, right? And it headquartered at France. Chaton-le-Pont is a place in France, and this headquarters is located here. And even India is also part. This whole ICOMOS is divided into regional committee wise, and India is also one of the members of this organization. So that is also one important fact. Any doubts? Okay, let's move to the last article for today, that is Kartarpur Corridor. Kartarpur Corridor. So the name itself is giving some corridor, some bridge-like thing is there, right? So let's understand what is the context. Recently, Pakistan has completed a long-awaited bridge at the Kartarpur Corridor, that is of India, between India and Pakistan. So let's understand, you will know that. This is before independence, you might be aware about this, that Pakistan is also part of India. Before independence, 1947, August 14, right? August 14, Pakistan got the independence. Earlier, Pakistan is part of India only. That's why there are a lot of shrines. Even in Pakistan also, there is a lot of Hindu shrines as well. Similarly, Sikhism was developed throughout the Punjab region. Punjab region was divided into two by the Britishers after independence, West Punjab and East Punjab, right? West Punjab went to Pakistan, and East Punjab we got it. But lot of shrines, the Sikh shrines, right, were present in the Pakistan as well, and people feel it is a very sentimental. And India, Punjab region also, we are having the many Sikhs who want to visit to the, that side of the Sikh shrines. This is called as the, Indian side shrine is called as Dera Baba Nanak. Dera Baba Nanak is the shrine name in the Indian side, and in the Pakistan side it is called as the Kartarpur Corridor, where it has the Darbar Sahib Gurudwara. Darbar Sahib Gurudwara is the where it is located in the Kartarpur in Pakistan. From India, it is a Dera Baba Nanak shrine. So this Kartarpur Corridor is to connect these two places. Many times they have been asked in the exam, and they will also ask you. This corridor connects the Dera Baba Nanak shrine from India and Darbar Sahib Gurudwara in Pakistan, right? And whatever the bridge that is residing in our Indian side, this will be cost, whatever the cost that has occurred, we will bear, and whatever the corridor that is their side, they will bear, right? So this is the Kartarpur Corridor, where it is connecting two shrines from India and Pakistan, right? It is one of the holiest places. Why this is important, even though it is located in Pakistan, why we are giving this much important? Because the Guru Nanak, who is the father of Sikhism, was once settled there. Because Pakistan was also early part of India. those 15th century, 16th century. So he has visited there. That's why the Sikhs from India also consider it as a very sentimental place, right? So this corridor construction was agreed to construct in November 2019, a very important one, on the occasion of 550th birth anniversary of the Guru Nanak Dev. So 550th birth anniversary was happened in 2019. On that day itself, we have agreed with the India and Pakistan that we are going to construct the Kartarpur Corridor. And this corridor is located on the bank of Ravi on Pakistan. Most of the corridor is located on Pakistan side only. From India side is a very small one. Fine. So that is about the Kartarpur Corridor. Fine. Now let's move to some factual pointers. First fact, today, July 11th, we are celebrating it as a World Population Day or International Population Day. Okay. So every year we are celebrating on July 11th because this is the occasion or this is the day where the world has reached 5 billion population. 5 billion means it is a 500 crores. 500 crores population was reached on this day, July 11th in 1987. On that occasion, we have launched the World Population Day, right? The theme of this year is to leave no one behind, count everyone. This is the theme of this year, World Population Day. A very important theme and surely you will see it in the exams, right? Next one, recently our Honorable Prime Minister has visited the Russia, right? In the 22nd India-Russia meeting. On the sidelines of that, he has visited the Tomb of Unknown Soldier. Tomb of Unknown Soldier, which was located in Moscow. You can see here. So this is Tomb of Unknown Soldier. They may also ask you in the exam where this is located. This is located in Moscow, Russia. And what is this purpose? The purpose is it is a memorial for the Russian soldiers who has participated in the World War II. Right? World War II, Russia was part of the Allies, USA, France, England, Russia, China. These are all part of Allies who were fighting against the Germans, Italy, Japanese. Right? So this Tomb of Unknown Soldier is to mark the memorial of the soldiers. Next one, the same fact related to it. Our Honorable Prime Minister has received the Order of St. Andrew Apostol. This is the highest honor given by the Russia. So he has received this, the Order of St. Andrew Apostol. So this is the highest order given by Russia and this was received by our Honorable Prime Minister. Right? Next one, recently the shutting down of Coup. You might have aware during COVID times, the app Coup got some popularity to compete along with the Twitter, like how the same Twitter works. It also released with the, this thing Coup app. This was closed recently, right? They have closed it. So that is not our concern. It is a symbol of zombie startups. Startups means those small business which are encouraged or which are gaining popularity, right? Zombie startups means they invest a lot. In the beginning, they were raised with enough funds, but they were not able to sustain for future. So their growth has suddenly dipped. So those startups which were not able to get those popularity and sustain their business, those are called as the zombie startups. So this was the case. Some criticism was there related to the startups. Next one, RBI has released Financial Inclusion Index. Recently, RBI has released the Financial Inclusion Index for 2024. So till March 2024, they have released the report. According to this report, the Financial Inclusion Index has increased to 64.2 from 60.1 last year March. That means out of 100 people, 64 people are able to financially include. Financial inclusion means who have bank accounts, who are aware about the financial savings, all those things, right? So the score is important as well. RBI score of financial inclusion 2024 is 64.2. 0 means complete absent of financial inclusion. 100 means it is a complete present of financial inclusion. But India is currently at 64.2. And how they calculate? They calculate based on the access, usage, quality, of the financial inclusion and all, right? It is published every year in July. So this again, it is a July, it has been published, right? So these are all the factual pointers for today. So if you have listened the class properly, now let's solve some MCQs. Okay? First question, which statements about Udayagiri Khandagiri caves are correct? So we have discussed about the Udayagiri Khandagiri caves. Now see this question. The first statement, these caves are located near Bhubaneswar, Odisha. Okay, these are located near Bhubaneswar, Odisha, they are saying. Next, second statement, they were excavated during the rule of Mauryan dynasty. So this is the second statement. Third statement, Udayagiri caves are primarily Buddhist while Khandagiri caves are primarily Jain. So this is the third statement. Udayagiri caves, right? So what are the statements are correct? First statement, let's see. First statement, these caves are located near Bhubaneswar, Odisha. So this is correct, one should be there, so you can eliminate this statement. Second, these were excavated during the rule of Mauryan dynasty. So this is a wrong, right? So this is done by the Karavela, right? So the second statement is wrong. So you got the answer B. So yes, Udayagiri caves, Khandagiri caves are completely, there is no Buddhism at all, right? Hinduism caves are there, but mostly dominated by Jains. But in Udayagiri caves, there are certain mainly features of the Buddhist. So later Buddhist caves were generated in the Udayagiri. So answer is 1 and 3. Srinath, Ranjan, Ratna, Malini, Swarupa, Ramya, Gangadhar, everyone have answered this correct. Very good. So you are aware about the facts. Next one, what is the most common route of transmission for tuberculosis? So for tuberculosis, what is the most common transmission cause? Sexual contact, airborne droplets, ingestion of contaminated food, skin to skin contact. So what is this? Let's eliminate one by one. Ingestion of food, no, it is not related to any contamination of food, so it is not transmitted through food. Not even sexual contact, unlike HIV and some hepatitis disease as well. Not even skin to skin. So it is related to the air droplets. If we sneeze or cough, so it is transmitted. Very good. Again, Malini, Srinath, Rachana, Ramya, Gangadhar, Keshav, Ranjan, everyone have answered this correct. Very good. Next one. What is the primary objective of Pradhan Mantri Jan Vikas Karyakram? I have not given the full form, but yes, you must be know about the full form as well if you are writing the lower level of exams like railways and all. So what is the primary objective of this Pradhan Mantri Jan Vikas Karyakram? Let's see. To provide financial assistance to all minority communities, to reduce development gaps faced by minority communities, to promote cultural activities among minority groups, to encourage minority representation in the government. So now tell me the answer for this. We have seen that Pradhan Mantri Jan Vikas Karyakram was launched to develop the minority communities in terms of education, skill, infrastructure creation, all those things. So now interpret this in that perspective. First one, to provide financial assistance to all minorities. No, they are not going to provide any financial assistance directly. They are going to develop through skills, health, all those things. To reduce developmental gaps faced by minority communities. So yes, this seems to be correct. Let's see the other option also. to promote cultural activities among minority communities. They are not going to support to encourage cultural activities like dances and all. It is related to the development. To encourage minorities representation in government. No, this is also wrong. So this is the one to reduce the developmental gaps between minorities with relate to the majorities. So who has answered this question? Ranjan, Srinath, Ramya, Swarupa and Rachna has answered this correct. Very good. Next one. Which one of the following countries does not have coastline along the Red Sea? Along the Red Sea, which countries does not have the border? Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Qatar. So Egypt, we have seen that Egypt was touching with Gulf of Suez, right? So Egypt was there. Saudi Arabia was there on the eastern side. Yemen is also there on the eastern side, touching the Red Sea. But Qatar is not there. Qatar is located in the Persian Gulf, not in the Red Sea region. So yes, Jashwant, Malini, Srinath, Swarupa, Ranjan, Ramya, everyone have answered this correct. Next question, we have one more after this. In the Indian Constitution has extended the parliament privileges too. So parliament privileges were given to which members? All members of parliament, Attorney General, President of India. So out of these three, to how many members the parliament privileges were extended? 1 and 2 only, 2 and 3 only, 1 and 3 only, 1, 2, 3. So first one, all the members of the parliament, yes, either they are elected or either they are nominated, all the members of the parliament will be given with the parliament privileges. So B should be eliminated. Attorney General of India, though he is not part of the parliament, he will come and participate in the debates, discussions and all. That's why parliament privileges are extended to Attorney General as well, right? Next, President of India, no. President of India will have a separate privilege. He is not having the parliament privilege. We have discussed the list also, right? So President of India does not have, and hence answer is A. So who has answered this question? Malini, Rachna, and then Srinath, Ranjan, Ramya, Swarupa, Sai Jashwant has answered this correct. The last question for today. Which of the following statements about Kartarpur Corridor are correct? There are 3 statements about Kartarpur Corridor. This is one of the previous questions from CAPF exam. It connects the Dera Baba Nanak shrine in India they are saying, Punjab, with the Gurudwara Darbar Sahib in Kartarpur in Pakistan. So this is the first statement. The corridor was opened in 2019 to mark the 550th birth anniversary of Guru Nanak Dev. This is the second statement. The construction of corridor was entirely funded by the Indian government. So out of this, which statements are correct? 1 only, 2 and 3 only, 1 and 2 only, 1, 2, 3. Let's see the statements. Yes, it connects the Dera Baba Nanak shrine in Punjab and then with the Gurudwara Darbar Sahib Kartarpur in Pakistan. So 1 should be there. Second one, the corridor was opened in 2019, correct, to mark the 550th birth anniversary of Guru Nanak. This is also correct. So second also should be there. Now comes the third statement. The construction of corridor was entirely funded by the Indian government. No. Our side we are funding, their side they are funding. So this is a wrong. Answer is C. So yes, Swarupa, Keshav, Ankit, Gangadhar and Ramya has answered this correct. Okay. So this is of today's session. I hope you have enjoyed. So we did not miss any current affairs. Yesterday as well as today current affairs has been covered, right? So see you tomorrow. Have a great evening. Thank you.